Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family, and welcome back once again to another daily Kaspa crypto live stream. And the markets are looking great earlier today, and then out of nowhere we are seeing Bitcoin retrace back down to just below $103,000. Kaspa is now down to 6.7 cents, and of course we are in a Bitcoin dominant market, so where Bitcoin goes, effectively every other altcoin follows in suit and more aggressively. Kaspa's not performing today right now though. Kaspa currently down 2.93% on the daily time frame. Sui's down 5.18, Tao's down 4.72. So again, a matter of perspective. Either way, we'll get into the market analysis in a little bit second. We've got not many sources, but actually some very insightful sources to cover in today's stream. We have a message from Tom Polinsky, a very insightful one, a very important one, which ultimately is highlighting the future prospect and longevity of Kaspa and his belief in it. Which, of course, we know he believes in Kaspa. He still does believe in Kaspa, but he's talking about what's necessary for Kaspa to become a top 5, if not top 2, cryptocurrency in the future. We'll get into that in a moment. We've got some updates from the KII as well, and also some interesting fundamental developments, potentially an explanation as to why the market's currently dumping right now. And we'll get into those first and foremost, of course. But before we do, if you enjoy the streams, always leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And welcome back again to the daily Kaspa crypto live stream, my brother and my people. Kryptoni first, my man, welcome back, bro. You're doing very, very good today. Nathan, my man, yo, the GOAT QC, what's up, brother? You're doing very, very well. Loving your VIP Discord. I'm glad you are, brother. I'm really glad you are. Again, if you want to find out more about it, links are below in the description. Also on my homepage. And again, if you want to get extra access, or you don't want to pull the trigger on, you know, the 1 week free trial and then the $50 a month, I can give you a 1 month free trial, provided that you do sign up to the affiliate link in the free Discord server and you follow the steps right here. You get access to the VIP that way as well. And there are a lot of benefits in there as well, of course. Getting you a permanent VIP access to the BYDFI channel and a 1 month free trial to my community. And equally, to give an extra incentive, there's currently a trading incentive event going on right now with BYDFI and Kaspa, where you can gain and win Kaspa should you take part in the trading. So again, a lot more. If you want to find out more information about that, check out the free Discord server, which the link to the free Discord server on my homepage right here and in the description, and you can find out a lot more in there. And if you need extra help, by all means reach out to me on Discord and I'll help you out where I can. But thank you very much, Nathan. I'm glad that you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll see a lot more coming through very, very soon. Welcome back, Buffalo Theory, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. Welcome back to the stream. And you too, Edwardson. Kaspa will rise again in due time, and I think with the acknowledgement from not just Tom Polinsky, but equally we saw yesterday Tom Polinsky and then also Michael Sutton yesterday, they both came to the acknowledgement that something more needs to be done. So that's great to see that they're now acknowledging that much, at least, which is good to see as well. Welcome back, DD bro. You're doing very, very well. Each liquidity today, 100%. That is the goal. And Australia, yes. Well, I mean, yeah, Edwardson. I mean, yes. Have people from across the world. Love to see that the channel, the community is very diverse, and you know, roots are deep. So thank you very much for being here, brother. I imagine it's quite late in Australia right now. When I had people from Australia frequently tune into the channel, I believe when I was doing 4 PM streams, it was midnight. So probably it's about 1 AM, I imagine, for you right now, maybe. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. What's up, Falco, bro? You're doing very, very well, my man. Mr. Miles first, apparently. Welcome back, pro. You're doing very, very well. Nathan is a paid actor. I wouldn't say that at all, but again, you can say what you will. I know you're probably joking, I hope. Pretty sure my miners are screaming in existential pain. Yeah, I'm sure there is an element of that as well, although with the hash rate, you know, coming down a little bit right now, it would therefore mean that solo mining right now is actually a bit more profitable. I imagine still not very great, but it would be more profitable right now. Hopefully see the hash rate in due time rally when people turn the miners back on, and again, the price is going up as well. But yes, that is just water under the rug. You know it, exactly. My favourite quote indeed. What's up, Obi1.Kaspa, bro? You're doing very, very well, my man. And you too, Gosu. Welcome back to all the OGs and even the new people who are tuning into the stream today and want to learn more about crypto and Kaspa and find out what's happening in the market for today. So with that being said, good to have it all back once again. Let's get into the content first and foremost. So we can see right now on the market chart, Bitcoin and Kaspa, when I made the announcement in my Discord server for when we were going live, Bitcoin was up. Bitcoin was currently up around 106k, doing very, very well. And then all of a sudden, as I'm now going live, went to get a little bit of lunch, and Bitcoin's just come down massively. It's now currently down almost 2% on the daily time frame, valued at 102,693, which is, it's coming down. We are reaching that level of support right now around this zone, which we can see. If I quickly just highlight them, actually I'll get the box, be a bit better to get the box for that. We can see there's a bit of a support around here. So, of course, Bitcoin holding that be very, very good. We could see it come down lower. It does depend right now. Still a lot of uncertainty, a lot of FUD in the market. If I was to hazard a guess as to why Bitcoin's currently coming down, it could have something to do with this, for one, being the fact that $4.1 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum options are set to expire today, which therefore could cause short-term volatility and short-term pullbacks. But I'm sure you'll see the market recover in due time as well. The other reason also is because we apparently have just seen confirmation now that the US national debt has surpassed $37 trillion for the first time in history, which of course is worrying. So we're seeing more debt piling up. And of course, the economy right now is still very much stagnant and struggling. Of course, crypto coming through will be hopefully the savior for all that. That's also why we've got this video that I'll play in a moment as well from the Fed Governor, Christopher Waller, who believes that we could now start seeing interest rates cutting as soon as July next month, which would be huge. Of course, not everybody in the Fed share his sentiment, and it's not guaranteeing, therefore we'll see them next month. But the fact of the matter being is inflation is at the basis point they wanted to be at, around 2%, and the economy is still stagnating. So in that regard, they do have room now. They have confirmed they have room now to start cutting rates. So maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't again. We'll get into this interview in a moment. But now let's go Kaspa real quickly right now as well. Kaspa currently down 3.6% on the daily time frame. Equally was up earlier today, and now it's come down. Not the worst performer right now, but again, that could change again. These smaller assets are a lot more volatile. And even then, thinking of Sui is top 11, top 12 asset, currently down 6%. It's coming down quite heavily. And doesn't make me think Sui is going to do badly. I still think Sui is going to come back. It's just what's currently happening in the market right now. Kaspa again, 6.7 cents. We are expecting as a community to see a 6.5 cents Kaspa, probably around this zone here, being another level of support. We'll see if it does hold that. Of course, some believe, and it's again possible, depending on the other fundamental developments, that we see Kaspa come back down to 5 cents. And it is a possibility. It really is a possibility. Of course, I'd hope we don't. But that could potentially form a triple bottom pattern, if you will, and then we'll see Kaspa hopefully recover off that. Again, we could go below that, but I think if I was to be on the optimistic side, I think we'll find Kaspa support around 6 cents, 6.5 cents, around the zone here, support, optimistic, and then we'll see a reversal. In the probably, I want to say more realistic sense right now, and again, this is me just laying out different outcomes, I think 5 cent testing again would be very possible, this zone down here. And that's purely based on the fact that we are still in this massive uncertain bubble of what's going on between Israel and Iran and other nations that are getting involved, like Russia and China and America, and it's getting a bit crazy right now. So of course that uncertainty is not great for the markets, and if somebody steps involved and starts taking action, that could spiral out of control. Of course, war is still not a massive concern right now. I mean, look at the SP 500, currently down 0.43% from all-time highs, down 3.25, so not drastic. Oil actually still not moving much right now, $73, $74 a barrel, so it's going up, but again, if it was a war confirmation, you see it above 100 right now. And equally, gold nearing all-time highs, about 3% down from all-time highs. But again, if we had war confirmation, that would be easily above 4K by now, from what I've seen from sources. So war confirmation is not there just yet, but we are seeing a lot of uncertainty, and because of uncertainty, you typically take your money out of the on-risk assets, which is crypto, and even more so altcoins, because they're even more risky than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin coming down right now, you look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still extremely high, 65%. I'm easily expecting 70 this cycle, easily, so we could see, of course, a bit more bleeding, a bit more altcoins just following Bitcoin diligently, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I do think that these two sources are probably the reason for why we're seeing a market correction right now, and the continual uncertainty regarding the war right now. But for me, again, it's water under the rug. It'll come and go. It's short-term noise. A lot more investors are going to get very, very worried, scared, taking out of their assets, which of course you're well entitled to do as you want to do. You're your own investor, trade your discretion, do your own research. But I do believe that more so going into July now. I mean, of course, yeah, the goalposts are moving quite a lot, but I do think going into July we'll start seeing more reassuring price action. I mean, if you look at the M2 money supply, equally a historically quite an accurate indicator, it does suggest that we should be seeing a recovery of sorts, soon enough. Again, Bitcoin does not follow it religiously. We've seen it here, doesn't follow it here, didn't follow it here, but otherwise it does follow it very, very closely. It's currently could have rallied up if we didn't get the outbreak of war. So we may see eventually when we do get that catalyst, if you will, that Bitcoin could just jump up quickly to the zone up here, 130k maybe, give or take. Again, we'll have to wait and see. There's still too many catalysts and uncertainties to really depict when we're going to see that breakout. If we do get rate cuts in July, then of course that will likely cause a breakout, and also good for altcoins, because what we have to understand is, because the M2 is so high, and also because of the 2017 cycle, when Trump was first in power, first in term, we didn't have rate cuts back here. There are no rate cuts back here, so we don't need rate cuts. M2 is high, we don't need them. But, of course, they're helpful because they basically allow for more risky investments. That's what you get more money in the economy, so you can end up taking more risk, if you will, with interest rates being cut. So that means it's great for crypto, but also with altcoins being a higher risk than Bitcoin. So you see, therefore, more investments into altcoins. So rate cuts would be fantastic for Kaspa, every altcoin effectively. So I would be happy to see them. Don't think we need them, but I'm not going to say no, of course. And actually, in that regard, then, before I get to more questions, we'll play this video here from the Fed Governor Christopher Waller, who does believe, based on the current economic sentiment, while not everybody expresses a belief, that he does believe we could see interest rate cuts next month. So listen very closely to the interview here.
It's going to be near.
Do you think you could cut rates as early as July?
Well, I think that would be my view, whether the committee would go along with it or not. But I think we are in the position that the data's good. GDP growth is going to be near target, our long-run target in the first half of this year. Unemployment's at our long-run target. Inflation's running very close to target. Yet we're 125 to 150 basis points above where the median long-run neutral policy rate is. So I think we've got room to bring it down, and then we can kind of see what happens with inflation. If it got really bad and people got very nervous, you could just pause. But I think we're in a good spot right now for talking about bringing the rate down.
So there you have it. Again, not everybody shares his sentiment, but there is a possibility, therefore, that we could be seeing rate cuts next month. And also important to note, every time we did see rate cuts, especially, of course, in America, the markets tend to correct just beforehand to price in the rate cuts, and then you see the markets rally as we're in that period of time. We saw that happen back in September time, or whenever it was we saw the rate cuts in America. You saw the market correct in the corners to the rate cuts coming through, and then started pricing it in very, very well. So we may be seeing the market react in that regard as well. Again, we just have to play it by ear and wait and see. Ultimately, play reaction to the market. That's how we've got to act right now. But again, I think right now it's a short-term noise, short-term FUD, and again, provided we get no uncertain breakouts like our dilemma, if you will, to put it very bluntly, in the Middle East right now, you'll end up seeing a relief rally of sorts very, very soon. But again, we'll have to play it. We have to just wait and see, ultimately. We have to wait and see. But that being said, what's that mean for Kaspa and crypto? Well, we have got another update from the fundamental side here, whilst I'm trying to put my bracelet on. Okay, never mind, do that. So we've got another update here, which is apparently that Coinbase just secured a license to offer Bitcoin and crypto services across the European Union, which is very, very big. Seeing the adoptions therefore expand more and more is fantastic for that regard. So despite the lackluster of price action, we are seeing the adoption of crypto continue to grow more and more. So what you have to ask yourself is, are we screwed? The simple, I think there's still such a massive unwanted virus, if you will, in the crypto space, where people just perceive this as a get-rich-quick scheme, pump my bags, live off that money. And there is still elements of that in crypto, but we're at a stage where institutional adoption's actively participating more and more, getting involved. JP Morgan recently got more involved, launching on the base chain. Again, Coinbase now expanding into EU. You're seeing much more development taking place all around the world. So we've seen the market mature, and with that maturity, it means that this get-rich-quick scheme is kind of just fading. And now what matters is institutional adoption. That's going to help those projects go to the next stage. And that does make it a bit of an issue for Kaspa. a bit, because that's something that Son Polinsky and again the KRI, that's the post I have for today's stream right here. So to start off with, recently, in response to Son Polinsky's post yesterday, Jonathan's understanding of blockchain is very accurate. The current bullish holders of Bitcoin follow a clear logic. Bitcoin is becoming digital gold. When Bitcoin accounts for 1% of global financial assets, which is approximately 5 trillion to 6 trillion USD, the price could reach $300,000 to $400,000. Institutions holding 80% of global financial assets, with regulatory frameworks being established, institutions are accelerating their Bitcoin holdings, which means Bitcoin's price will increase. What Jonathan is considering is not to deny the past efforts and contributions of the Kaspa community, but rather to think about what conditions Kaspa still needs to meet and become a top 5 cryptocurrency. It is clear that Kaspa will reach the top 5, or it's clear that for Kaspa to reach the top 5, the participation of institutional investors, especially large institutional investors, is essential. That's the understanding we have right now, and that's quite a transparent one. I think we've all been saying that for quite some time now. And this whole post here for Son Polinsky obviously breaks down in a lot more structured format. I'm not going to read it word for word because that is going to be, death by PowerPoint effectively. And it's, obviously to summarize it quite well there. But he goes into a kind of a similar schematics there effectively, talking about, how impressive Kaspa is, about the fact that, he mentioned here at some point, if he had a gun to his head, would he choose Bitcoin or Kaspa as a long-term holding, even a store of value? And he even says Kaspa here. Yeah. One single crypto, would you choose Bitcoin or Kaspa? And he would say he'd go on Kaspa. Of course he would say that, being the founder effectively of it. But he does believe still wholeheartedly in Kaspa and what it's got to do. But he believes to truly succeed, Kaspa must Bitcoinize, meaning that he needs to establish itself as a credible, outperforming alternative to Bitcoin for institutional wealth. Because right now, institutions are buying up Bitcoin, not to use Bitcoin, but as a store of value that's going to keep increasing over time on time and explode. Again, recently mentioned, if Bitcoin reaches a $6 trillion asset, market cap, this cycle, that's, close to $5,000 price. That's insane. That's a 5x from here. Or give or, again, the numbers, I've not done the exact calculation, I'm just picking that out there. But the point being is, the potential for Bitcoin to rally up a lot higher and continue in the future is up there. It's very, very high. So what Kaspa needs to do effectively to succeed is to Bitcoinize itself, meaning have that same credible value that Bitcoin has for institutional wealth, and then, of course, expand from there as well to be able to take into the other elements of the space regarding, the Solana chain and stuff, be able to actually be functioning as the medium of exchange. He highlights the hill worth dying on, signifying the core team's unwavering commitment to high ambition. So despite, the steep challenge Kaspa has, he's still highlighting that Kaspa still has the potential and will believe it will do so. He makes the comparison to, LeBron. LeBron James, of course, one of, if not the most famous and successful basketball player in the world. That's a argumentative point because some will say Michael Jordan, some will say Kobe, some will say Joel Embiid. No, not Joel Embiid. We're talking about. Some will say in their own respective spaces and roles, Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, Larry Bird, again, whoever you pick, but LeBron is definitely one of the GOATs, you could argue that. And he made the comparison here about, I don't get a kick out of making a conference finals appearance. It's not fun to me if I'm not getting to the finals. So ultimately highlighting that with LeBron, he was like, oh yeah, I don't care about getting to the final. I want to win. I don't care about all the small, I want to make the actual top. So he's trying to say that Kaspa, again, they're trying to achieve the utmost, highest, level in crypto. Of course, highlighting Kaspa's got superior technology, its strength, it is absolutely insane. For it to reach the top 5, it has to reach certain criteria. And the problem right now for Kaspa, which they are recognizing now, which is that this is the big factor, right? The founders, Michael Sutherland and Son Polinsky, they're actively recognizing and acknowledging, despite past efforts, again, they're not trying to discredit anybody, but saying, despite past efforts, we realize now that we need institutions, VCs, and so on and so forth, and large entities to actually dive into Kaspa to help elevate it to that stage where it's going to become a top 5 asset. But it's not going to just fade off. The evolution of the crypto market is beyond just words. You know, you need to have a good marketing, right? Good marketing, which they're accepting that capital marketing also is lackluster. So you need to find a way to improve that as well. So in essence, to summarize it, Son Polinsky is saying Kaspa's path to becoming a top tier crypto depends on its ability to outcompete Bitcoin as a store of value, which is a steep task. But that can be achieved because of Kaspa's superior technology and a good marketing strategy that is crypto native, community driven, and centered around real world products and utility, with the help of, you know, the big entities also partaking in Kaspa as well, big institutions. So what does that mean for Kaspa right now? Well, it's words. It's words, but it's acknowledgement for hopefully how Kaspa's going to be going forward soon. Of course, they're going to continue building. We're going to do our part as the marketing, but hopefully we'll see it expand and explode more from that point onwards as well. And in regards to institutional investment, we do already have some elements of that regarding the KII. The KII, of course, you know, they're going to be launching their own stablecoin very, very soon. They mentioned that their project management program, you know, across all their projects right now, they have 382 key tasks to perform and complete in the next 80 days or so. So that's the next 3 months. So you're looking at right now, we're coming to the end of June almost. You've got July, August, September. So by September, more or less, they have 382 tasks complete. That could end up being game changing for what they're doing with Kaspa as well. And in that regard, we do have this article here, the KII reposted. KII and Kaspa feature in an interesting article about trading energy commodities in the MENA region. Discover how this tech can drive efficiency and transparency in energy markets. Now, I'm going to load the article, flashbang warning, because I can't find dark mode. I'm going to look at the chat. If you guys simply can't handle it, I'll just read it from notes that I have already put down. There's a flashbang warning right now because it unfortunately is in white and I cannot put it in dark mode. But here, published 20th of June 2025, so today literally, Inside Blockchain can jumpstart regional trade of new energy commodities. Here it talks about John here, Heisman, who is the CEO of the Zero Emission Traders Alliance, the ZETA, which is a key part that DRI Desert Energy and KI are a part of. They helped create it effectively, which is really, really, really big. So this is ultimately a massive article, you know, in regards to Kaspa, therefore, which is really reassuring. So it talks obviously a bit of history about Zeta, you know, about their goal to foster, you know, robust energy markets in the MENA region, and they understand and they're trying to explore carbon and new energy to establish and strengthen that community effectively, to be able to use energy to make money, you know, kind of how it goes. And they're looking at certain elements, how to do so, how to do it, you know, green, you know, efficiently, safe for the environment, and they acknowledge the potential of blockchain, but there's still caution, as there would be any time. Early blockchain applications, for the most part, have been too slow for energy trade. That's what they highlight here as well. However, innovations like stablecoins are being considered for the potential, and of course, in regards to speed, well, you have Kaspa, which is significantly quicker as well. I did my screen, thank you for the warning. It's all good, Buffalo. It's all good. They also then talk about, you know, again, they are addressing the uncertainties of a decentralized environment. You talk about it right here with Michael Mers, who talks about it. He's the advisor to ZETA or Zeta, and he highlights that he suggests that the decentralized environment, blockchain can serve as an artificial trust anchor. So basically, providing a basic yet crucial audit function to make it more secure and less worrying. That's how blockchain can help. And there's some other stuff as well, talking about, again, blockchain as a shared audit trail and beyond. And then the part, of course, that we are really wanting to look more towards about is transparent trading and whatnot, and then regarding to the KI and Kaspa, which is right here at the bottom. Talk about which blockchain, of course. So what's needed is a neutral, decentralized system that enables widespread participation without need for a central regulator. It should be absolutely transparent without any corporate or other organizations sitting at the center. Such a decentralized platform should feature fast, high-volume, low-cost transactions. It should be censorship-resistant, such that no single authority controls it. Indeed, it should be resistant to political or market manipulation by any industry player. And right now, there is no system out there that can fit that criteria besides Kaspa. It's still got ways to go, but Kaspa is the only system right now that can fit this criteria, being extremely quick and actually decentralized. Not claimed to be, because 90% of projects in the space that say they're decentralized and DeFi, they are not. There's someone central controlling it behind the scenes. Kaspa is truly decentralized. And then, of course, yeah, he talked about KRI here, about how the KRI is a key partner in this endeavor to create this neutral, decentralized, transparent system, this energy trading platform. The KRI are a big part of that. The KRI advocates for decentralized, permissionless systems governed by a DAO. And the KRI anticipates significant capital inflows into digital assets, much of which could be directed towards decentralized green finance in the energy sector. The KRI, of course, is developing their gigawatt coin, the GWO, based on their gigawatt stablecoin, which of course is backed by Kaspa, and this new financial instrument backed by a basket of assets including cryptos, carbon credits, tokenized energies and whatnot, should be able to provide a stable, globally usable settlement instrument for the energy industry, and of course should be independent from political manipulation. So Kaspa, having the platform, having the token behind it as well, that also help, they will effectively help bring the decentralized element to it and the speed, and the gigawatt stablecoin will be able to bring that element that is independent and hopefully adverse to manipulation. And the best part we've got to hear about this is how close we are to seeing it take place. So Zeta and the KRI plan to launch a pilot project in the GCC region, committed to a regional approach that encompasses both carbon markets and new energy commodities. So we should be seeing, this is not going to be necessarily access for us, but we'll be seeing this happening more and more in the future, and they're actually now launching and partaking and utilizing their projects right now, and you're only going to see it accelerate more and more with the evolution of Kaspa, the protocols, the developments coming out. Again, native smart contracts will also let it evolve to a new level as well, so there's a lot more incoming in that regard, and I will likely do a full circle back on this again. But before I do, let's get some questions real quickly first and foremost, because there's a lot to cover, a lot I'm sure I've got to answer questions for as well, and it does make me relatively optimistic once more about what's coming to Kaspa in the near future, because yes, while Kaspa is a fantastic asset, it's been very lackluster in price action and we can accept that, but it looks like that measures are being acknowledged and hopefully taken to fix that going forward as well. Then we've got the question, let's go to where's the next question I have to get to. It is from Kryptoni. What's up, brother? My miners are on vacation myself until I get solar panels and commercial electricity. Well, hopefully you get that soon. And yeah, hopefully you get that soon, brother. But I understand right now you've got to turn them offline. Not just for necessarily the cost of things, but yes, just until you get everything set up properly. And as Ghost suggests, you enjoy the streams, leave a like and smash that like button. Share with your friends and subscribe for more, you know the deal. Kryptoni, send me your one of them and I'll power it. Well, there you go, Mr. Mars, up to his usual antics. You're running the wheel, exactly, yeah. He's doing it for my stream right now. Kaspa's a bad coin. I mean, you're entitled to your own belief. Doesn't bother me either way. You haven't got to be in Kaspa. It's perfectly fine. Do you think the smart contract being live will actually be a catalyst, or will that be the first step for tier 1 listings? A very good question, Buffalo. I think smart contracts will be big for Kaspa, but I don't think that's going to cause a price explosion. You might see with the smart contracts a little bit of a relief rally, but I don't think you'll see anything too significant unless you get something absolutely insane, like some major Ethereum well-known app or something that's always provided very well. Unless you get something that actually comes to Kaspa ASAP, because what it does, smart contracts are fantastic, but it requires still adoption and then utilization and volume. That's what's going to drive the price of Kaspa as well. So it's going to be a great stepping stone. But you need to see again the stuff coming through, and again the institutional investment as well. That's what's going to drive the market and price of Kaspa. So I think with smart contracts, that'll be a fantastic step, the right step in the right direction. You might therefore also see tier 1 preparing more so. You'll probably see with the release of smart contracts Stablecoins starting to make their move, because stablecoins, while they have the ability to launch on Casplex with the opcodes, most of them have stated they wanted to wait until smart contracts come out. So you might see smart contracts get involved. So smart contracts get involved, a small pump, maybe, small pump. Stablecoins start looking towards it and start launching. Maybe a bridge USDC and USDT. Fantastic as well. More adoption, more volume, people staying within the ecosystem and just buying and trading on Casper. And you got from there as well. You see more adoption, more price. Then you start seeing tier 1 taking notice of that, more volume, start jumping on board. Institutional investors jumping on board. They start. I do believe, actually, while someone plenty did make this post here, I do believe that big institutions, you've got the KRI already a part of it, and they've got some massive partners. Shell, DHL, Hyundai, Bosch, Eon Energy, Siemens Energy. They got PwC. They got one of the big 4 accounting firms, a part of their alliance that's working with DRI, KRI, effectively Casper, therefore. Institutions are looking at Casper. Just not taking action just yet, because they can't really. They're still waiting for regulatory frameworks, and even for Casper becoming more fully fledged DeFi. So that's my long answer. My short answer is probably nothing significant in the immediate short term, but set the foundation perfectly for the long term, I think. Provided we do get all this stuff and marketing going properly as well. What's up, Wing Hong, bro? You're doing very, very well, brother. We Moon yet? Not yet. Soon enough, though. What's up, Greg, bro? Hope you're doing very, very well, my man. 47th indeed. World War III this weekend? I hope not. I hope not. From what we have heard from Trump, he said he's going to wait 2 weeks. So I'd imagine, therefore, going into July, we'll see if anything is done. But yeah, Casper could potentially go to 5 cents. If Bitcoin went to 70k, Casper's going a lot lower than 5 cents in my belief. There's no way I see Casper going down only not 20%. If Bitcoin goes 70k, meaning it come back down 33%. Like, if Bitcoin came down that far, Casper would go down probably. I don't want to answer that question too seriously, because again, I think it's unlikely. I hope it's unlikely. Again, I can't say for sure. If Bitcoin came down 70k, I would say Casper probably go down to, I'd say probably 2 cents. Yeah, I'll probably say 2 cents. 70%, yeah, 70% from there, I think that makes, yeah, I think it's 72 cents. If that happens. And that's based on nothing, by the way. It's just me making a prediction based on looking at the market right now. I see there's the level of resistance and support here around this zone here. Around 2 cents or so. And one also around there. So my prediction is purely based off that. I'm not saying it's going to reach there. And that does require a World War III breakout. And I'm hopeful we won't see that happening. Every time I sit on the toilet, QC goes live, I've noticed, well, apparently the same way that Miss Mouse on my base, but apparently I'm watching you as well, I guess. I mean, that's also true. I don't think we'll get a world war, personally. I mean, at least the markets right now are pricing like they don't know what's happening, but not a war is coming. Because if we had more worrying confirmation of a war, again, you see gold rocket up, oil rocket up, and the stock market crash. And right now, they're all just kind of stagnant, not really doing much. And you're seeing, again, crypto being a bit more volatile as it's a smaller asset class. I think that's because the option's expiring, and therefore causing a lot of short-term volatility. But you might see the market end neutral at the end of the day, and then you'll see Casper end neutral. I mean, Casper, every time he's streaming recently, Casper's been, going negatively, but normally finishes the day actually doing okay, kind of neutral right now. It's just holding this support right now around 6.5 cents, 6.8 cents. But yeah, always going to check in LB. Welcome back, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. And yeah, I do agree as well with Mr. Miles' comment that I did skip out, but yeah, about Casper being suppressed. I think there's a good possibility of such right now. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. And yeah, you're welcome for the warning, Buffalo. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I don't plan to load the article up. If I do, I'll warn you again. But yeah, very, very bright, the article. Any KTO? I do not hold KTA. I have not checked that asset out in a long time. We can see right now Casper volume 45 minutes. Check out KTA real quickly before I come back to that. Kita. Currently down, did I say 21% on the day? What's happened to this? Wow. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that did very well kind of recently. And then it's come down massively today. Well, I don't know what's happened today for it to crash 21%. That's kind of worrying. Has there been a rug pull or something that's just happened? What's happened to Kita? Huh, that is yeah, I mean, if you are holding that asset, I apologize, because that had something very bad going on right now, evidently. Yeah, capital right now, again, volume lackluster as always. All I can say is hopefully we'll see it recover in due time. You're seeing again volume dominated by Gates 26, Mexi 18. I mean, ultimately as well, you think about Kappa doing badly, you still got some very, very massive holders of Casper still. You know, some very, very big holders. If Casper was going to do terribly, you'd see people start to sell more. Because again, the addresses are going up bit by bit. You know, these people are still holding a lot of Casper, the big, you know, exchanges and wells and whatnot. So I'm still not worried about Casper. Some people say the same thing. He's not worried about Casper. He's just wanting to. He's basically trying to focus on the next step for Casper to try and think about how they're gonna grow its adoption to actually be utilized and become a top 5 cryptocurrency. We all believe it can do that, but we do need the adoption. My eyes, they burn. Well, I gave you a warning. It's on you for not dimming your lights. This is the most amount of light that QC has allowed me to see in weeks. You have a little window, mate. I don't know what you're complaining about. You have a little window. Yeah, you're welcome, Buffalo, bro. You're doing very, very well. Is this what I feel like being in the sun? Honestly. You said the gigawatt coin is GWO. I think you meant GWC. Probably. I'm not going to load the page up again because I don't want to flashbang people. But yeah, I probably did. It probably is GWC. That's my dyslexia coming through. Hot take, Casper is the perfect coin in line with the original view of crypto. If Casper doesn't do well or have adoption, then crypto as a whole would no longer be a good investment. It's a hot take. And I think there is truth in that statement. I think there's logic in that statement as well. I think if Casper does not become widely adopted, I think crypto would still be a good investment. I think it would still make a lot of money, but it would just be a modernized, revamped version of the current monetary system, which means it's going to be destined to fail again in the future. So, with Casper, especially if it becomes this, integral, hub in the future where everything running off Casper, it would hopefully be, much more superior and efficient and protected from that. So, I guess I agree and disagree. I think crypto will still be a good investment because there are multiple assets that will do very well and you can make money off it. But it would just be a revamp of the current system that's already broken. So it would just be like every 80 years you see a new world reserve currency. You have another 80 years effectively of this market and a much better system. Quicker transactions, faster transactions, cheaper transactions, more security. But yeah, it would definitely be a problem. Does Iran ban Casper? Or Iran ban Casper? I don't know. I'm not too well versed in what's happening in Iran. I just know war's bad. Casper not suppressed. It's a scam. People see it as Israeli coin and don't want to do anything with it. Blame. Okay, well, I'm not going to say that, because that could very well get me banned. I don't know what YouTube wants me and not want me to say right now. I mean, I understand the frustration with Casper. I say it every stream now, because I have to say it every stream now, because everybody's constantly worrying about Casper. Although I could highlight very easily, once again, Casper's not doing badly itself. All of crypto, especially all the altcoins, are bleeding. Bitcoin dominance is up, very high. All alts are struggling. Casper's struggling one of the most. I don't disagree with that, but I think the comparison to Israeli coins, I think there's actually quite a small minority of people who actually view it that way. Because I think for the most part, a lot of people who do know what they're holding, they know that it's a decentralized asset. Therefore, it's not an Israeli coin. I know it's not an Israeli coin. I know the founders are from Israel, but it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care their backgrounds. It doesn't bother me. All I care is the brain inside them, which is insane. Without a better choice of words, their brain is incredible. It's something that I'm happy to be a part of, effectively. Their knowledge on crypto and Casper is evidently the most... So I would argue the knowledge and understanding of crypto for the Casper devs is the best in this space, because what they're doing is not creating something out of the wheel, they're recreating the wheel. They're not, following along to everybody else, which, every other asset in this space followed along to the Ethereum proof of stake model, basically. More or less, which even then, Ethereum's model is based off the Ghost DAG protocol that Son Polinsky created. And Son Polinsky is now some Polinsky created, the Casper devs are now use that protocol and evolved it, and they're recreating the wheel. So where that from doesn't bother me at all, but some people do view it that way, and I can't really. People who view it that way, then you're never going to change the perspective, no matter what. Even if Casper does really, really well, you can't change the perspective. So it's unfortunate for them. Yeah, I'm getting that. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do it this month. I'm gonna message you, Mr. Miles, and Cryptony, and maybe a couple others this month, and I will ask if you could help in moderating the YouTube account. Of course, don't let the power go to your heads, because I'm not too much worried about. I think I'm worried about Mr. Miles doing that, truthfully. But the same, the reason, the reason why I'm not giving you mods yet, Mr. Miles, because I remember you saying that when you're a mod, of course, you take things more seriously and you won't joke around as much. And I do actually, and it's painful to say that, I do actually like your playful jokes on occasion. And I don't want you to lose that, but I understand if you've got the responsibility, you've got to rein it in a little bit. But again, I'll reach out to you guys soon-ish. Just seeing the comments going back and forth now about the debating of why Casper is and is not a scam from people who research, people who are not. I mean, that's also true as well. Like, yeah, ultimately, if something works, no one cares where it came from. Do you think how many people know how revolving doors or like drawers work, that sort of stuff? Most of them run on have some form of mechanism behind them that lets them work properly. Like my drawer has little wheeled cogs that lets it pull in and out. Of course, I know that, but I don't need to know that. I know it just comes in and out. If it works, no one needs to know about it. The negative price is frustrating. It's being suppressed. I don't disagree that Casper's been doing very, very badly. But again, we are currently in a cycle right now where the whole cycle, we're in a position right now where altcoins have had the hardest cycle in history, because institutions are here for the first time and they are all in on Bitcoin right now. They've barely got into Ethereum. They haven't got access to anything else just yet. It's been pretty much just Bitcoin. So therefore, all alts are struggling. Ethereum is down like 50% or so from its all-time highs. No, yeah, 50% all-time highs. That's Ethereum, 50%. When Bitcoin's at all-time highs almost. Casper's down more, it's down 65%, but it's still down massively. Everything's struggling. Alts are struggling. The problem again just comes down to how long Casper's pullback has been. If Casper started coming back in value in Jan like everything else around here, if Casper had done this and then come down here, no one will be saying anything. But people are saying so because it's been coming down for an extra half a year. I mean, again, I don't really know what I have to do. Trying to tell us to not to share who his favourite is. Oh no, Mr. Mars is not my favourite. He's my favourite troll, because everyone that does troll my community, he's been doing it longer, and I do know he is completely joking, and most of his trolls have stuck in the community, so evidently his trolls are respected and loved by all, which does pain me to say that. But he's also a pain in my side. Why don't we tell everybody that Casper's amazing? I mean, we try to, but people just refuse to see it because all they see is price. All they see is price, and it is what it is. You haven't got to like Casper, doesn't bother me either way. Again, we're looking at these posts here from Oyson Lee and Son Polinsky, where they're talking about Casper, of course, not trying to disregard what it did in the early days, of course, not trying to discredit that, but Casper, to do really, really well, it does have to effectively Bitcoinize itself. It has to end up having the same capabilities as a store of value. It's got to have these large institutional adopters and investors come in to help it do really, really well. As a hedge, Casper's got to become a hedge against dollars, basically. And that's going to take a while. It's possible. I'm not remotely worried it's not going to happen, but it's going to take a while, a very long time. We'll have to wait and see. But somebody is still very, very ambitious and believes Casper can, again, Casper climbed from top 5,000 to top 50 and even climbed to top 20 early this cycle. It did all of that without tier 1 listings, without institutional investors, without even at that point a smart contract platform in the works properly, or even 10 BPS out yet. All this stuff has it did that so early, and now all the big stuff's coming out for it. I still think it'll do very, very well this cycle. Still no doubt in my mind it's going to do fantastic this cycle. And we'll hopefully see a lot more coming through soon enough as well. You know? I'm going to leave this post in my community. You can read it through for yourself. But, you know, Kaspa May is the Bitcoin fundamental for Solana level execution. That's something that tech people are going to have to understand. And they will, hopefully soon enough. And you'll see then more institutions get involved as well. But again, it takes a while. It's able to dwell and expand on the parallel arena. A month and a half ago, Lakers were limited by the Timberwolves in a surprisingly lame and lazy Game 5. I didn't lose because they didn't believe they could win the series. They lost because they didn't believe they could win the championship. That's ultimately what he's talking about here. So he's saying, again, somebody talking, he's evidently an NBA fan. He's saying that the Lakers didn't lose because they didn't believe they couldn't. They probably thought, yes, we could beat the Timberwolves, but he didn't think, oh, we can win the whole championship. So he's trying to say that them as Kaspa, they have to understand that Kaspa's not trying to become a leading asset. They're trying to win. You know, they're not trying to become a top 5. They're trying to identify the stuff they need to do to become a top 5, but they're not trying to become a top 5. They're trying to become a top asset, the top asset to surpass Bitcoin. That is their goal. You have to have that mentality to make it to the top. You know, institutions, VCs, mining, are by and large crypto veterans. Their attitudes and gut regarding crypto alternative crypto assets are shaped by the dynamics and meta of the multi-cycles they've witnessed. So in order to know how to onboard such veterans, a new info protocol, you need to have entered crypto no later than 2017. Of course, there could be exceptions, but I haven't met any without having been to exposed to crypto 2017. ICO craze, scam website, and sending language. A non-crypto native marketing expert could create beautifully flashy graphics that would allow instinctively deter a 2017 schooled crypto veteran. And talking about here as well, people just basically talking about the stuff here. But he's just talking about, yeah, again, we need to start having a way to... If somebody who's got experience in crypto for a long time. Kaspa's been announced in 2021, but he's built the Ghost Tag, which most other projects have been running off, so he's aware of them. But the crypto sharks and the VCs, they need to see something really, really good with Kaspa before they jump involved. I think they're all looking at Kaspa, but right now they're like, okay, it looks good, but I'm not sure yet. They need to probably see smart contracts and it functioning well for them to be like, okay, now I need to actually, you know, hedge it a little bit more so. Most VCs don't look too much involved because they normally just give an asset to pump the project anyways. So Kaspa's trying to do it all, you know, natively and all just organically, and that's going to be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. But yeah, I mean, and again, you've got the KI as well, who are actually, yeah, participating more and more and getting Kaspa out there as well, which is fantastic. It's very, very big news here. Yeah, the price is bad. I agree with that much as well. Kaspa will burn 9% of the trash coin. Kaspa is king. Oh yeah, I mean, Kaspa will definitely surpass majority. Again, eventually in the future, you're going to see a crypto culling. There's no doubt about it. You're going to see a culling of the crypto assets where most 99.9% of all crypto is going to go to zero. There's thousands, tens of thousands of cryptos in the space. Most are going to go to zero. Kaspa for me is going to be one that survives because of what they're building. I can send money 6,000 miles away in under 63 seconds. 50k in 2 seconds, and pay on the face to do it. I mean, yeah, again, Kaspa's the benefit of crypto is you know, being well telegraphed. Kaspa is just an evolution of that, while staying true to Sompolinsky's, so Satoshi Nakamoto's true vision of what crypto should be. And again, we're looking at it right now. What's happening? I'm sorry, white again. I apologize, but we're seeing it happen right now. We're seeing the growth of crypto and it's just happening more and more. So it's just. I mean, again, I say it every time. If Kaspa fails, you know, it's going to be... I mean, I'll probably still be in crypto. I'll probably find something else. Because from the information and research that I've done with my VIPs, in my VIP group, I have seen countless articles from institutions about their belief in crypto. So there's no doubt in my mind this asset class is going to explode. And the fact that we're here early enough is fantastic. But seeing if, and I say if, that I don't think it will happen, but if somehow Kaspa does fail, that would be a massive hit and a worrying aspect for me, because I'm thinking, well, if Kaspa fails, and it is, you know, in all that regards, deemed as the kind of the perfect mesh of what Bitcoin should have been, then what does that mean for everything else? It basically just means centralization always wins, which is just sucks beyond all belief. But I mean, yeah, in that regard, unless you've got any more questions to ask, that may cut today's stream a little bit short. I didn't load too many sources up today because I didn't want to overload people, but because the main insight here was Polinsky talking about the kind of ultimate rebranding in a sense, or the new direction in a sense for Kaspa. With it, and now they've got the foundation blocks there pretty much, and they're kind of just releasing them now. They're trying to actually now get the marketing up now as well. We do know that a roadmap should be coming up very soon for Kaspa as well, which should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing that roadmap come out, and that'll give us a more idea of Kaspa as well. And then we'll see much more coming out as well. KRI again bringing much more to Kaspa, bringing the institutional investment to Kaspa as well. I think again market's been struggling for a while, but I think again the light will at the end of the tunnel is on the way. It is coming in due time. It's just a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? Don't be emotional. Be logical. Keep researching more and more. If you want to find out more information, when we haven't got a timeline for that just yet. I made a post about it yesterday, I believe. Did I? I should have done. Let me check. Yeah, Michael Sutton, roadmap's incoming. He said it here at the very bottom. He didn't give a timeline just yet. He just said that the next post will be out tomorrow. I don't think he's made a post about it just yet. But he'll discuss something cool and immediately related to Kaspa. And then in the near future, Polinsky and himself will outline Kaspa's roadmap for the next year or two, up to the achievement of zero knowledge, so smart contracts and DAG-Knight. So we'll find that stuff out hopefully very, very soon. I don't think Michael Sutton's made another post. Let me just quickly check. No, not yet. So we'll find that out very, very soon. If you look at Binance with 275 million registered users, imagine 100k people trying to buy Kaspa. The exchange would run dry if they would buy 100k Kaspa. Oh yeah, exactly. Like when Binance says Kaspa, they're gonna have to have a lot of Kaspa. You know, if you look at Binance right now, and their weekly visits, they've got 10 million weekly visits. Let's just say even just 1% of that, which is only 10,000. Is that right, maths? Or 100k? I think it's 100k. Yes, 100k. Yes, I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm very slow right now. Yeah, if it's 100k people were to 1% of Binance trying to buy Kaspa, just our theory, let's just say. And they're not all going to just buy one Kaspa, are they? And one of the biggest platforms, they're going to probably be a lot of big whales than that as well. So they're going to have a lot of Kaspa to buy up. Binance listing would be absolutely huge for Kaspa, and I still think it's going to happen this cycle. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. Kaspa isn't listed on the coins for Binance yet because they're secretly committing it themselves. Once it gets listed, the coin will skyrocket. I believe there's a possibility of that as well. Once we see that, the conversation of Kaspa being bad hopefully will be null and voided then, because once tier 1's list, you'll see what they'll do for Kaspa price. They're waiting for the market to be in a good position right now. Bitcoin right now is... The market's not. The market's waiting. It's uncertain. Once the market starts going through that uptrend again, and Kaspa's going through the uptrend as well, and hopefully the cashback mainnet comes out soon, which we're still waiting for an announcement on that, we'll find out a lot more, and hopefully Kaspa will do very, very well. The fight for Kaspa right now is purely on price, and it's understandable, but once that price does surpass all-time highs, then what's going to be the argument then? Oh, it should have reached $10? Well, you listen to Moon Boys. Why do you listen to Moon Boys then? But that being said, I think that'll be it for today's Kaspa and Crypto live stream. If you enjoyed, again, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. To know more about crypto and Kaspa, check out the free community homepage right here or down in the description. Equally, the VIP as well. And if you want to find out more, get more involved, check out the affiliate link. We can get many extra benefits like 17% discount on trades, permanent VIP access to the BYDFI channels, and a 1-month free trial to the Coin Factory. Again, if you do so and you need help signing up, then let me know on Discord. I'll let you know. I'll reply back. That being said, have a great day, good evening, good night. My people.